Have you ever felt it? That distant, unshakable sense that something beneath the surface of our world has shifted, not in politics, not in economics, but in something much older, much deeper. A current of silence beneath the noise, a pressure in the soul that no one talks about, but everyone feels. You look around and everything appears to function. People work, cities move, news continues, but something is off. Something fundamental. And when you try to explain it, words fail. Because it's not just a feeling. It's a knowing. For decades, the prophecy was hidden, locked away, sealed not with chains, but with fear. It wasn't stored in vaults of governments, nor protected by secret societies. It was something simpler, yet far more impenetrable: forgottenness. And that forgetfulness wasn't accidental. It was designed. Because what the prophecy held wasn't just a prediction. It was a mirror too painful for the world to look into. The name of the woman who received it was Baba Vanga, blind, veiled in mystery, a figure dismissed by skeptics and feared by those who understood. She never sought fame. She never sold books. She simply spoke, in whispers that echoed across timelines. They called her mad, a mystic, a myth. But behind the ridicule was dread, and behind the dread, truth. In the final years of her life, she gave one scroll to a confidant, not to be opened, not yet. When the rivers lose their memory, she said, and the sky forgets how to weep, open this. The world will not be ready, but it will be warned. That scroll remained sealed for nearly half a century, until now. The signs came slowly at first. Fires in places that never burned. Floods in cities that were never touched by sea. Children born into silence. Dreams repeating the same symbols across cultures. Birds vanishing. Bees confused. Skies that felt heavier. And the human heart, disconnected not just from the divine, but from itself. Inside the sealed prophecy were not dates or names. No maps or coordinates. Only images, raw, brutal, symbolic. A white eye floating in a sea of blood. A tree with roots growing upwards into darkness. A candle trying to burn underwater. And then the words. Fragmented, eroded by time, but still legible. They will forget their names. They will forget their voices. They will forget that they were ever more than machines. Vanga spoke of a time when the soul would be digitized. When the sacred would be mocked in the name of progress. When people would give up their inner fire for convenience, applause, efficiency. And in that silence, something ancient would awaken. Not a god, not a demon, something worse, something hollow. She called them the hollow ones, beings that do not walk or speak, but inhabit the absence. They feed on numbness, on distraction, on the false light of synthetic joy. They do not enter homes. They enter moments. The quiet space between scrolling and sleeping. The whisper in the room when no one is talking. The cold shadow that passes through a crowded place and makes everyone feel alone. That is their domain. And once they arrive, they do not leave. They multiply, not by birth, but by agreement. Because what lets them in is not ritual or spell. It's disconnection. It's giving up. It's the moment when a person chooses numbness over truth, image over presence, reaction over reflection. The sealed prophecy revealed something more terrifying than death. It revealed the slow erasure of the soul. It said, they will not know they have fallen. They will call it evolution. The prophecy spoke of a false dawn, a period of blinding acceleration, where humanity believes it has transcended limits, where suffering seems optional, where morality is rewritten in algorithms. But underneath that light, darkness pulses, a darkness that wears masks of virtue, that speaks the language of unity while dissolving identity. And then the collapse. Not a war, not a bomb, a collapse of meaning, of trust, of self. The prophecy warned, when nothing is sacred, everything becomes disposable. And when everything is disposable, so too is the soul. The scroll described a silence that would spread faster than fire, a silence not of peace, but of surrender, a silence where the earth still turns, but hearts no longer beat with direction. It said churches would be empty, not because people lost faith, but because they forgot what it meant to believe. Families would fracture, not through violence, but indifference. Children would grow up asking not, "Who am I?" but "What should I become to be liked?" And the skies, the stars, the rivers, all would respond, not with wrath, but with withdrawal. The earth, too, would go silent. And yet, at the edge of that void, there is a choice. The final line of the prophecy was short, almost hidden, faded, but still visible. Remember. No explanation, no instruction, just that one word. Because it was never about learning something new. It was about returning to what was lost, to what was buried under data, distraction, and design. The prophecy wasn't a map. It was a signal, a voice from the past trying to guide us home, before we forget there ever was one. But now, the choice is not collective. It is personal. This isn't about nations or leaders. This is about you, about what you allow in the quiet moments, about what you choose to remember when the world demands you forget. So ask yourself, now that the sealed prophecy has been revealed, what will you do with it? Will you dismiss it like all the others, or will you pause and listen? Because the hollow ones are not waiting. They are already here, and the only protection is presence. Not noise, not opinion, not resistance, only the deep, unwavering fire of one who remembers. And you still can, but not for long.